Here we go. Nice. We'll see how fast my thing catches. I think YouTube's low-key shadow banning me. That wouldn't be fun. Make me actually very sad. It's kind of like what I do. Correct this. I put it in the same position as before. I guess. Finally, a win back in the positive column. It's finally what we needed. You know, got scared there. 3 games slipped the way we slipped. The worst one was that last game, though. Not this one, but the previous. That was a rough loss. And a handedly won. Handed to us on a silver platter at that. That's what really made it terrible, honestly. To be so frank. But, you know, we get better and things of that nature. What's up, Tayton? Oh, no, you're good. I'm not going to lie. I think I did something and YouTube doesn't like me anymore. If I'm going to be real with y'all boys. Because it has not been pushing my most recent videos. Like at all. Yeah. Let me see here. I'm about to. Here we go. About to pull up this box score real quick and look at things. Said, sorry, I miss. Sometimes be busy. Hey, Logic, you're good, bro. You're good. You haven't really missed much except for 3 losing streams. Outside of that, no, you're good, bro. Is my camera? My camera's tilted, isn't it? Uh-oh. Spaghetti-o. There we go. I'm about to say, that didn't look right. John played well, but seriously, we need to look this up. How many of his last 23s he made? Not many. As a matter of fact, we'll pull up Stats Muse. John Collins, 3-point shooting the past 8 games. So we'll see the ones where he shot worse. Three-point attempts. 4, 1, 75. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, so we're looking at 9, 11. You know what? I'm about to just pull up Google. All right, so over the past, now, mind you, on the season, he's shooting 35.6% from 3. That said, against the Wizards, he was 0-2. Against the Pelicans, he was 0-3. Against the Rockets, he was 0-4. Against the Thunder, he was 1-5. Against the Pacers, he was 0-2. And then before then, against the Lakers, he was 3-4. So I'm not a great mathematician, but that's 1 of 10. 1 of 16. That's not good. Granted, I give him a little bit of grace because I gave Fontecchio grace as well. Simpson, that man David, I appreciate you, bro. That was a really big pick-me-up, as crazy as that sounds, you know, once YouTube takes their cut and I get my rest. Because lately, I'm not going to lie, boys, how do I put it? I don't want to sit there, I don't want to say my channel's dying, but I wonder if I posted something I shouldn't have posted or did something I wasn't supposed to do, because they are not pushing my most recent 2 videos the way that they pushed the other ones. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a general Utah Jazz game. A general Utah Jazz video. I'm not sure about what the topic's going to be, but it's going to be just a general video. And then after that, I'm going to do one about Larry Markkinen, or Fontecchio. And if none of those videos hit 1,000, I know that it's not me. It's whatever's new about the algorithm. And then I'm gonna have to make an adjustment because the most recent videos, I don't think they were bad, right? Somebody tell me if they were shit. Let me know because I would like to know. I don't want to put up garbage content because that's not good for anybody. But I thought that I put a decent amount of time into them, and I thought they were good. So for them both to get 300 views by comparison to the other ones all hitting 2, 3, 4, and 5,000 views is kind of demoralizing a little bit. Just dang, my necklace is caught. But yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on there because my impressions have also been significantly low. Like my impressions, I kid you not, they went from like 10K down to like 2,000 impressions, and it's crazy. But that's not the point of this video. We're going to talk about what the Utah Jazz did well, guys. You said, why did Hardy go back to limiting Sexton? That is a great question that I did not have the perfect answer for you, Jay. I'm not going to lie. I just pulled up the box score so I could see everybody's stuff. We can run it through. Today was likely because we were playing the Washington Wizards. That's what I'm going to guess. Today was one of those games where you can let Keontae and the rest of the guys on the bench roam kind of free, and you can still win that game. You should still win that game handedly. That said, he played just as long as Chris Dunn did today, 16-52. 4 of 11. He didn't shoot really well. He was 1 of 2 from 3, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Had 3 boards, 6 assists to only 2 turnovers. Had a steal, so that was nice. Really becoming the playmaker. I thought he was capable of becoming a playmaker, but the playmaker is crazy. It's honestly something that wasn't super expected by me, at least, and that's coming from the guy that has 2 Colin Sexton jerseys and talks about him religiously. Sometimes a little bit too much, I suppose. That said, Lowry had a bounce back game. We needed that. Fontecchio still shot well. So Fontecchio in 21 minutes, 4 of 7, 2 of 3 from 3, 7 boards, 2 assists, no turnovers. With his 10 points, he had a box score plus 11. This is the Washington Wizards, but at the same time, an important thing that good teams do is win games that they're supposed to win and fighting games that they're not supposed to be in. We recently had a game where we didn't really fight too tough, but this was one of those games where you absolutely have to stand on business and handle things because we didn't get the job done against the Rockets on the road, admittedly, but still have to win those, right? Can't be a great home team and a god-awful away team and expect to win games. This puts us back at 500, and while it doesn't give us any really breathing room, it keeps us in position to make some more plays. Now we have the Hornets coming up, and that's going to be a very big game for us because the Hornets have they just traded away Terry Rozier for Kyle Lowry, but the expectation is that they trade Kyle Lowry as well for future draft picks. And obviously they're going to have to take on a contract because of the new CBA deal. But by and large, the Hornets already got their big win because they always do that. They beat a really good team and then start getting clapped by literally everybody else. And they just recently beat the Timberwolves. So we should be in good hunting distance to, on the 27th, them just handle it this Saturday. That's the expectation at the very least. I see no reason for it to change. He said, 10 games in a row scoring 120 or more franchise record. NBA record is 12. Crazy stuff. What's up, Dallin? He said, haven't noticed a drastic change. I'll give him a watch. I've been super busy this week. I'll give you my opinion. Thanks. Let me know. You figure out struggling, right? Yeah, it is. The content man is UK bitch. Yes, keep it. Hey, not Richard. Appreciate you, my guy. Glad I'm creating something that you enjoy. I'm glad you popped into the live stream. That's what's up. Incognito, you said, hoping it's the case. Don't want to go backwards with Hardy. Hello. Yeah, I think we've learned the lesson with Sexton. And this was one of those games where you can afford not to play him a lot. If there's a game that you want to play your bench, see really what you can test, what you can do with certain guys, and just get Keontae some starter level minutes instead of just having him as a bench role player for the majority of the time like he is playing. This would have been a great game to honestly, let me see. Call me crazy, but I low-key would have activated what's his name? I would have activated Taylor Hendricks and let John Collins sit this one out just to see what it would look like. Just to see. Bryce would also run, in my opinion. I'd probably let Jordan Clarkson and John Collins take a rest day. Lowry played a little bit longer than I probably would have played him, honestly. 32, almost 33 minutes. Admittedly, we don't play. He needed a bounce back game after the last game because that was rough. But I'm not mad at it. Me personally, I just would have taken this opportunity, just like I would take the one coming up on Saturday against the Hornets, and just get some of the younger guys some more serious burn. Because it's not like the Hornets are just going to roll over; they're just going to get rolled over if you make them. So it's going to be important that they go ahead and handle that business. He said, "What does Will Hardy have to do to earn the respect of Jazz Nation? Going 500 with this roster is quite an accomplishment. Not going to lie." To earn the respect of Jazz Nation, he'll probably have to literally put this team in the playoffs. Like I think that's what's going to happen. Like if they make the playoffs this year, everybody's going to rally around him because not only is he capable of winning, but he effectively pushed this roster beyond anything any analyst on ESPN or any NBA network has really said for them this year, right? Except for us. But if he cashes my check and makes them a playoff team, then effectively I think that silences a lot of people and it makes people actually say, because a lot of people won't admit that the Jazz team is made of solid players. They'd much rather say that the coach schemed them into victories, which will also help his case specifically. But when at a certain point, you just have to recognize you have a quality roster. You might not have superstars, right? But you have a lot of quality players that are all willing to buy into a system because they respect who? Their coach, who took a little bit of trial and error, but made the adjustments necessary to put them into winning positions so that they can win basketball games. And that's the most important part. And once fans and even opponents see that as a whole, he will garner a lot more respect. Now, admittedly, Utah is a small market team, so it will be tough for him to win Coach of the Year because a lot of people just wouldn't focus too much on him. They'd much rather focus on a team like the whole whatever that situation is with the Bucks right now, or like with the Lakers. If Darvin Ham does manage to turn the whole season around and they make the playoffs and they're really making a run, he would be in a final. He would be a finalist. And it's like, but dude, you've been hot dog water for over half the season, low key. And they keep giving you passes, and now all of a sudden you turn up and now you get to steal it from like guys that like Will Hardy, who were expected to be absolute trash and made something happen. That wouldn't be fair. But we know how the NBA works and we're familiar with their game, especially when it comes to voting. Let's see how I'm doing. I'm doing pretty decent, Dallin. Today was a pretty smooth day. I'm not gonna lie. Bryce would be a good play that either this game or next game. Yeah, like I see Hendricks play. I actually think they need him out there. Collins' defense has been bad, and so is Lowry's. Lowry has been able to get away with a lot more because of his efficiency and the fact that he hasn't been absolutely egregious in his positions. John is still a net negative, in my opinion, but he hasn't been as terrible. Now, today, ironically enough, he had the highest box score plus minus at a plus 22. Of course, it's against the Wizards, but still got to give him his flowers where they're owed. Me personally, I like to see Taylor Hendricks sooner rather than later, but I also understand that you can't really trade him. And since he bought back in, when people literally said, yo, this guy's cheeks, he's disappointing everybody, and they were like, we're throwing him on the trade block, he still came to work every day, put in the work, locked in, and he's a little bit less of a negative on defense. He's not good at defense, right? He's still a net negative, but he's less of an egregious, just like, I can borderline not play this man. Also in part because they play him at the center spot. That's another thing because when you had him on the court alongside Walker Kessler, didn't really work out well for him because he's not a good defender, and then his shooting just he's getting guarded by somebody that can effectively guard him and give him trouble on offense. Whereas if you put a modern day five, even though they're gonna be more of the lob threat kind of target, they're gonna be out of position if they're forced to step out on a shooter, i.e. John Collins. He hasn't hit his like I said, he's 1 for 16 across his last 5 games. So in a shooting slump would be put mildly, but I think he'll come out of it soon. Second starting Gay will with this flow. Saw it work tonight. Play a lot of zone. Yeah, good coaching decisions today. In general, he's the most underrated coach. I hope we accept him. Yeah, I see no world where they don't. It'd be crazy not to. A1, what's good, my guy? Minutes this game, he just wasn't necessary, right? He didn't play terrific. He didn't shoot the best. And then on top of that, this is one of those games where you can get guys off the bench. You can give Keontae starter level minutes and it won't destroy your bottom line, even if he plays absolutely horrible, right? And that was a big thing. Like even today, he played, let me see here. He played 31 minutes. He was 1 of 6, right? 16% from the field. He missed both of the threes he took. He was 3 or 4 from the free throw line. Had 4 boards, 7 assists, 3 turnovers, right? Not a terrific stat line. 5, 4, and 7. Not a terrific stat line across 31 minutes. But, it was there. His defense wasn't great also. And it's kind of concerning because, it is against the Wizards. But at the same time, we were able to do that. And he still had a box score plus minus of a plus 13. Now, Keontae will eventually get to the point where, as I think my biggest gripe with him right now isn't even the fact that he doesn't hit his shots. It's because the Jordan Clarkson that he's been playing with on the court is kind of leaching into him. Not the good Jordan Clarkson, not the one that will randomly give you 30, but the one that will shoot terrible and not be able to get stops and not choose to get stops a lot of times. Now, his issue is more so cognitively learning the game, like being on the court and making the right decision defensively. Jordan Clarkson's is a lot more deciding he wants to flip that switch. So as long as Keontae doesn't get into I don't want to flip on the switch, he'll be okay, right? He's going to learn the game. This is his rookie season, right? We've been spoiled so much to the point where you've had the Luka Doncic's, the Trae Youngs, the De'Aaron Foxes, where they come in the league and they're automatically like maybe not a top 20 player, but you could make a case for them being top 75 on the court in the league, right? Because they're just that good a player just out the gate. They understand the game well. They flow well. You can't teach feel. Feel has to be felt. You can't have somebody read an equation off the board and like, this is how you're going to understand and interpret all the information you take in during the game. It doesn't happen like that. So I think he's going to be a little bit longer of a timeline than we originally thought. It's not a bad thing, right? It's not a great thing, but it's not a bad thing because most rookies are ideally a couple years of a project player. They're going to be solid production-wise after a short while of time. He's shown flashes of playmaking, right? He's shown decent rebounding. He doesn't get terribly pushed off his spots on drives to the rim, and he does have a decent overall. He has a good shot selection. His issue comes with the fact that he struggles to either A, finish plays at the rim, or B, hit the quality threes that he takes. But that will come with time and experience, and so I'm not ready to pull the fire alarm that crazy on him. You said people are getting the 7 through the first 23-ish games of the season. We were on pace for a 17-win season. That's facts. Next game is a must-win, in my opinion. This is a gimme, but the Hornets are scary because sometimes they steal games. Yeah, that's literally what I was talking about, Flair. They just beat the Timberwolves and then got beat by the Pistons. Yeah. Yep, the Pistons. Sexton's one of my favorite players on the roster. Top 3 for sure. I love him tons of minutes. He wasn't making the best decisions today specifically. Keontae was I hope he can be great. Yeah. Sexton so-called bad decisions were no worse than stuff we saw out of Clarkson and Georgia, but they played 3 minutes. Can't be the only reason he played 17 minutes. I think it's the consistency with Hardy. When he makes decisions, specifically it's occurring with Lowry and others that I respected. These events are always affected. I see what you're saying, Incognito. I would say the biggest thing I take this game specifically with a grain of salt because if we were to look at this random stat line and we were like, then it would make more sense to be like, yo, wait, why did Colin not play? Yes, he shot 4 of 11, but he did have 6 assists and a steal to only 2 turnovers, right? And a positive box score plus minus, albeit just 2 points. That said, when you add the context of it being against the Wizards, you also recognize you're not going to have a lot of gimme games when you're the Utah Jazz this season, right? Because you started out the season really rough, so you can't afford to drop an easy game, which is why I was irritated when we lost against the Rockets. Because that's a game where, in my head, I'm like, if you're the Utah Jazz, you have to show the Rockets they don't deserve to be on the court with you. Their dream, their ceiling is a playing spot. You are a legitimate, bona fide playoff team at this point in the season. And went down to the wire on the road, lost that one. Now, in this situation, you have the opportunity to let guys like your Jordan Clarkson and your Keontaes and even Ochai just play more minutes and not have to worry about, are we going to lose this game because I played him an inefficient 30-plus minutes. Now, Jordan Clarkson, me personally, I wouldn't have played him as long as they did this game, just like I wouldn't have played Lowry as long as they did this game because they really treated it like they were playing every other game with the exception of Colin Sexton. So I would agree with you on that. Interesting that Hardy did decide to just pull Sexton, but he also pulled Chris Dunn. Admittedly, he always pulls Chris Dunn, but the fact that they both got pulled at the same moments and just like left just to cool out, I'm not mad at. The expectation though is if I'm Keontae George, I have to reward Will for doing this for me and giving me this opportunity, and also Colin Sexton and Chris Dunn for being supportive enough to sit there and say, if our averages take a hit, it's cool. As long as you're going to be you're the person they want to build around eventually as one of those core cogs in the machine. So go ahead and get your minutes, rookie, and show us something. So shooting 1 of 6, not a great look. But box score plus minus of a plus 13. So he was doing some things right. And more so, Jordan Clarkson, his box score plus minus was a plus 16, despite shooting 7 of 17 and 1 of 4 from 3. He was 4 of 4 from the free throw line, had 3 rebounds. He had 8 assists, but he also had 4 turnovers. So he managed to lead the team in turnovers. Well, no, he didn't. Walker just had 5 personal fouls in 15 minutes. That would explain why I didn't see him on the court that crazy. Something to keep an eye on. Our bench bigs getting in foul trouble. Kelly Olynyk in 21 minutes had 3 personals. He was 8 of 11 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3, though. He had 4 boards, 2 assists, and 1 turnover. So 19 points, and then box score plus minus for plus 13. But I would say if this continues to happen for Colin in like regular games and he goes from playing, 27 to 34-ish minutes down to 18 to 24, then 18 to 23, 22, I would be concerned because at that point I'm thinking in my head, what are we doing? Because he is effectively our most consistent and efficient scorer outside of Lowry Marketing, right? In my opinion, I would say the numbers back it up, but I know some people feel differently about it. Also, the advantage of playing a 5-out lineups more frequently, Clarkson will perform better at a 5-out setting, not turnover as much. The fact that Clarkson can still function, true, with both Kessler and Keontae on the floor at the same time is impressive. Yeah, it also partially explains his streakiness in the situations. I feel that makes sense for this game. I've seen pattern shards in the past. Just hope he learned. Yeah, I would say he learned. I don't know. The Rockets are mid, so they're not bad. I wouldn't say they were a gimme. No, I wouldn't say that. I apologize if I said it that way. No, but I think that's a game where if you are the Utah Jazz and you're trying to force the rest of the league to take you serious, everybody's like, oh, they won 15 out of 19. How? 15 out of 19? How? How did they do that? If you're the Utah Jazz, you have to consistently show them, hey, the first part of the season was a fluke. That wasn't even us for real. We didn't wake up. We weren't even trying, if we're being honest. This is what we look like now. You have to consistently string those wins together. And admittedly, it puts you in a cycle where you're just continually chasing a W just to prove you can get another W. And a lot of teams won't respect it in the beginning because they don't respect our roster of players. They don't respect our second-year coach. But that was one of those games where in my head, it was like, I need that because there's more tough games on this road trip, right? And I need those. But if I can't get the toughest game, right? If we lose to the Knicks because the Knicks are rolling at that point, it's okay because the Rockets are slightly below the Knicks in a tier list, and we got that win there, but we didn't. Now we did clear the Wizards. We needed that one, right? So we also have to clear the Hornets in similar fashion. We can't afford to go down the wire against the Hornets and LaMelo Ball. That's not going to happen. That's not okay. Especially since I'm actually going to go to that game. That's not going to be okay. Then of course it's going to be we got a couple more on the tail end. What is it? Brooklyn, then the Knicks. I think the next two are. And then the Nets is another like Rockets tier game where it's not a give me, but you want it. You want it real bad. If it's between the Nets and the Knicks, you'd much rather lose to the Knicks than the Nets. Like you want to handle the Nets, and then if you happen to lose to the Knicks in a dogfight, you can respect yourself still similar because it was a dogfight of a game that you ended up, coming up short in. But continuing down our list real quick. John Collins actually had a pretty strong double-double today. 11 of 15, 0 of 2 from 3, 7 offensive rebounds out of his 16 total, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 turnover, 2 fouls, 22 points, and a box score plus minus that led both teams actually with a plus 22. Chris Dunn, 2 of 4 from the field, missed the 1 3 that he took, had 1 rebound, 3 assists, 1 steal, no turnovers, 4 points total, box score plus minus of a plus 2 right alongside Colin Sexton. Continuing on, we talked about Jordan Clarkson. We talked about Keontae. Walker Kessler, 2 of 3 from the field, 3 rebounds, 1 block, and 5 personals, which head scratcher, an anomaly. Hopefully we don't see more teams put him in this position. That would be very difficult for us against teams that can actually score the rock, because against our bench, that wouldn't look good. Ochai played 20 minutes, 0 of 3 from the field. A bad showing from a shooting night from him specifically. 4 rebounds, 1 block, 1 turnover. Box score plus minus of a -2. Kelly in 21 minutes. That 8 of 11, 3 of 4 from 3, 4 rebounds, 2 of them being offensive, then 2 assists to 1 turnover. Luka and Omer both played 58 seconds, didn't put anything in the stat books, and were a box score plus minus of a -3. And then THT caught a DNP. That said, continuing down the list, Kyle Kuzma shot the best for them, naturally, 12 of 24, 1 of 8 from 3, though. So we definitely locked that down. They were 7 of 30 overall. Meanwhile, we were 13 of 31 for 41%. They shot more free throws than us. Today we shot 12 free throws. We were 10 of 12. They were 15 of 20. But Kyle Kuzma also had 6 boards, 5 assists, and 5 turnovers. 26 points, box score plus minus of a -8. The one and only Jordan Poole, I guess there was no baddies at this game because he only shot 6 of 12, 3 of 7 from 3, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, and 5 personal fouls in 28 minutes. 18 points, box score plus minus of a -3. Then you had Tyus Jones, a guy that many people would love to see on the Utah Jazz roster. In 34 minutes, he was 5 of 12 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3, had 6 rebounds, 14 assists, 1 steal, no turnovers, and 12 points. Had him a calm little double-double as well. Box score plus minus of a -8, though. Continuing down their, I guess, next solid performance, honestly, the last one of this entire list, would be Marvin Bagley in 16 minutes, going 4 of 5 from the field, 6 of 9 from the free throw line. Had 3 boards, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 14 points in a box score plus minus of a -15. Outside of that, you saw Johnny Davis, Patrick Baldwin Jr., Jules Bernard, Anthony Gill, and Trey Jamison all play 50 seconds in that closing minute. But yeah. With that in mind, I wouldn't say there was any surprises particularly. Just another day at the office for us. But any more thoughts, ideas, concerns, questions before we call this one a night? Question, real quick, before I hop off. Somebody give me a title for my next video. I wanted to talk about the Colin Sexton Larry Markkinen duo. There's Cam. I was wondering. I thought you were gonna pop in. I might just call it dynamic duo. Should I call it Batman and Robin? I don't know. I'm gonna come up with something, but gotta make it a little bit creative, for those. Dang, my view's really been taking a hit lately, guys. Oh well, he gets better. He gets better. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, finish that video tonight, edit it, send it over to Finishing Sex. That's what you want to call it, Cam. Finishing Sex. Colin and Cam on the rise. Interesting. Fair play. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Flair. Honestly, we've been pretty good. We've been pretty solid lately, guys. I'm gonna go ahead, pull up some numbers with them both as starters, and then both of them individually, and then probably have it done in like 2 months. I said 2 months. What the heck? In 2 days. It usually takes Sachin about 48 hours to get a video back to me. So it'll probably be about 9-10ish minutes long. And then we'll go from there. And then, of course, I got to finish my Lonzo Ball main channel video to start things out. But we'll be solid. David, you just became a... Hey! Oh, I got to hit David with a wrench. I got to wrench David, guys. I love saying that now. Bingo. David done caught the wrench. Now there are 6. They don't pop. Y'all don't pop up on my profile page, like my main channel. Like if you click on my thing, my icon, I guess. If you click on my icon and it goes to the thing, it's supposed to pop up. Like if you go to Hoops Nerd's account, it shows like his eight of his channel members. Mine don't pop up because I don't have 8 yet. I have 6 now. Ha ha. Stop with the wrenching. What's wrong with a wrench, Flair? Come on, gang. But yeah, you know how it be. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I've been feeling a little unmotivated lately. Between the Jazz losing and then just my most recent videos not doing well, I thought I was the problem. Regardless of what happens, it's still my fault. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying, it's the algorithm, it's tweaking, it doesn't love me anymore. No, that's not what I'm doing. I just got to make my adjustments on my end, make better content, right? Push it out so that way people want to click on my videos, people want to watch the videos, and therefore more views. Eventually, at some point, maybe by the end of this year, I want to make, a decent amount of money. There's only 80 y'all in here, so I'm gonna show y'all. I show somebody else as well. If it'll come up, if the page will load, I'm about to show y'all my thing. Hang on. So we have 1,529 subscribers in the family right now. And so far, we are, hold on, it's going to load. We are $316 in. Yeah, man. You said, bro, I told you you're going through a dry spell. You're going to be up when we trade someone. Yeah. Oh, there's Lee. Hey, Lee, man. Yeah, I was about to pop off real quick, but yeah. Just another day, man. But yeah, got to get back on my game. Got to lock it back in. So we're gonna get a Colin Sexton, Larry Markkinen duo video. We're gonna get the Lonzo video that actually Lee's gonna edit for me. He's gonna do his first editing talent for me. So y'all will see that next Friday. I'm gonna finish it this weekend, Lee. I'll get it to you by this Monday at latest. So that way it gives you ample time, because I know despite the fact that you always make free time for us and me specifically, I want to make sure I give you ample time to like work it into what you have going on with your life. Because again, you're a married man with a child and dogs. Outside of that, I'm debating. I might do another Lowry video. I think that might be the one I rely on to get to the thing. And yeah, and career. Don't get it twisted. Yeah. I thought I said that first, but yeah. Then we have. Oh, nice. DM it to me. DM it to me so I can look at it. I've been looking to switch it anyways. Yeah. I got to figure out how to make my merch more pretty. And then I also got to drop the prices on them because I think that partially stops people. Like I was getting a lot of impressions from the Fontecchio video that was popping in Italy, but still not good. He said, I better get a peek. Cam, you're in a Discord. You'll probably be on a call with me later tonight. I'm having another late night hoop session, by the way. Yeah, I got to get back in the gym. But, with that being said, matter of fact, if anybody hops into the Discord, I'll probably sit in there for a minute and I'll have y'all boys. I'll probably chat with y'all for a little bit while I record this next video, or just before I do it, I guess. Finneville, Chicago at 12 a.m. with all them bricks. Man, Cam, you saw me hooping the other day. Don't play. Nah, but that second half of the shooting workout murdered me. I felt trash. I'd never been put through anything like that before. Lee, you should have seen. I had him and Flair. They were both in a Discord call watching. I turned my camera on. One of my boys put me through a shooting clinic, and it was good in the first half, but like that back half, bro. We were in the gym for almost 3 hours shooting. My legs were gone at the end. Yeah. I thought I muted my mic too, and I was not muted. But with that being said, before I take up too much time, got to be consistent with my themes and stuff. 467. Man, look. It is. I just honestly had a lot of time on free throws. Cap. That's clickbaitable right there, Cam. Because I didn't miss a single free throw. Darion missed a couple of his, but I hit all mine. And Darion hit most of his jumpers. I missed quite a few of my jumpers, especially off the dribble. I'm not like that. I'm like Klay Thompson. I'm definitely not. I'm definitely not Kyrie. I'm not in my bag like that. But with that being said, Jazz got a quality victory. Really needed it. Back to 500. Seeing the Hornets should get back over 500, and then we'll see Brooklyn after that to help push the tempo a little bit. As always, I appreciate y'all boys coming out, checking the stream out. If you haven't seen any of the new videos, check out the new videos. Like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, become a member if you haven't already. Get the video faster than anybody else. And yeah, man. As always, good morning, good evening, good night. No matter what happened. I just read Flair's thing. You said, bro's about to make it out the league. But as I always say, good morning, good evening, good night. No matter where you're on the globe watching. Thanks for tuning in. And I'll catch you, gentlemen, in the next one. Peace.